Hello, my name is Mathea with Mathea's Alterations and Passions, and I like to do alterations. I love to do alterations for people, and I don't know, that's just my thing that I came up with because my mom, she was a seamstress for 35 years, and so I had sewed with her a couple of times. The first time was in the summertime, and then and then again later on in my early adult years, I had worked with her in a sewing factory for like maybe a couple of years, and then after that, she retired while I was there, and then I eventually left the company and also worked for other sewing factories, just learning different things here and there. And particularly this one sewing factory I worked at was at the mall, and we was sewing name tapes. And, just I seen them alter, the dress blues where they take it in or make it wider and everything. And that's where I got my inspiration to do alterations. So, and I've just been doing it ever since. I was like, hey, okay, I can do this at home too, because I was sewing the name tapes for them. And I also did embroidery, like sewing the names, on the name tapes on an embroidery machine. So I would sew it on the tag. And I learned how to do that, and and it didn't take long at all. So yeah, that's where I got my inspiration to start my own business. With the experience that I learned sewing with my mom, and the biggest inspiration was that my mom was a seamstress for 35 years. So that's where I got my talent from in sewing. That's why I learned how to sew and watch my mom, and she taught me and everything. She even taught me, like I was trying to make the pants by myself one time, and I didn't do it right, so my mom corrected me, and I said, oh, okay, Mom, thank you. At first I was trying to be, trying to, felt like I knew how to do it because I just wanted to figure it out. And that's why I get my, my love of altering too, because I try to figure things out too, how to alter, everything. And I've learned as I went, and now I just know how to alter everything because I'm also self-taught. But, my sewing talent definitely came from my mom. And then the experience of sewing name tapes and the embroidery came from my job. And then I've also learned how to blind hem and everything by hand at another sewing factory, and I learned how to bar tack and how to like double stitch from another sewing job. And then the production was from a sewing factory where my mom used to work when she retired. So that's why I learned how to do production in sewing, and I did a really good job. So so I just wanted to bring it to another level, and just bring my own thing to it, and make it as a side hustle. So I've been doing it at home for the past 10 years now, and I just love it. I've had so many clients, and and I'm listed on Google and everything. So, but again, my name is Mathea, and I'm with Mathea's Alterations and Fashions, and I'm gonna show you one example of altering that I do. And here's one. Well, this one right here, for example, I alter. Now she wanted me to take the Nisha name out and the word cook. So, and this is embroidered, as you can see, because it's a uniform where they always do embroidery on a lot of company names, and a lot of times including the names too. Some may not have the names, but a lot of times they have the names. So, and this is a jacket. So it's a cook jacket. So it's a bit messy, very, very messy. But this is what I use, to shave and get the name out, like that. Like I'm literally just shaving it, and it cuts it really nice and carefully without cutting the material. And then I even go on the inside to do it so it won't like cut the material off. You know, just to be more extra careful, I do the majority of the shaving on the back because it's, you know, it's got this protected material in the back. So I just, you know, shave away, keep continuing until it all comes off and get loose. And then after doing that, I like to use a nail cutter because it's like a tweezer, but it could just literally, like, see how it could just pull the thread off, and then it also cuts it too. And I do that, you know, nice and carefully. Yeah, see, it's coming off already. Yep, right there. Yeah, so, yep, that's how it looks like. It's very messy, but, you know, that's how the job gets done. Because it's an embroidery. So I have to just, like, bite it with my nail cutter. Bite the letters off, embroidered letters. So yeah, just keep doing that, and then I keep doing it. I might shave it some more, and that's it. And then just to show you how I do it, that's the process. And then once it's done, this is how it looks. See, this exact same shirt, You see, process, not done, done. So that's the results. This is how it looks. When she put it on, then she could just put her name tag right here, or maybe get it embroidered, her name. You know, the manager that wanted me to get done, my client. Yep. So that's the results. And taking the name out. It's a process. Getting it out. And it takes like at least 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes. So, and this is the results. Yes. And so I've told you a little bit about myself and showed you an example of what I do, because I do not just altered gowns or jeans, slacks, shirts, dresses, everything, wedding gowns, ball gowns, prom dresses, everything, even a quinceañera dress that has so many layers. I've altered those, and many, many, many ball gowns and wedding dresses over the years. And so I'll be showing you a lot more of myself. This is my first show with my alterations and my first video, and I'll be showing you more. And so that's the results, and this is the process. And that's the results. And thank you for listening, tuning in, and watching my first video, and hope you like it, and I will be showing more. Thank you. Please subscribe, like, and share. Thank you, and I'll see you on my next video.